You know what, Saif, at any age, it's fabulous as long as you're healthy. You can be 16 years old and dying of brain cancer and have a year to live, or you could be 90 years old and healthy and happy. As long as you're healthy, that's a big deal. Health is number one.
How old are you?
Saif, you're starting with really hard personal questions. I refuse to answer that on the grounds that it's going to mess me up with all the good-looking girls I'm with every day in my hot yoga studio. So I'll say there's rumors that Saif that I'm 63.
Hey, we'll go with 63. We don't know his exact age, but we'll just roll with 63. For someone out there that's struggling with their health right now, what would you recommend to them to, stay in shape, look after their health?
I think if you're struggling with any health issues, you have to realize that you're not alone, that there's other people suffering same issues. Living in Canada, we have a lot of health agencies. We have a great government that offers a lot of different health assist. Often it's free. In Ontario, it's through OHIP. Other provinces have their health care. So again, you're not alone. You have professionals, you have the medicine, and just to use them. Not to realize, and often in certain cases, you can't beat certain health issues by yourself or trying to fight through them. You have different tools, and again, just using those different tools. Medicine, the professionals, and again, taking advantage of the medicine and the medications that we have in this great country, Canada.
Couldn't have said it any better. We have tons of resources. If you could give your younger self a great piece of advice, what would you tell yourself?
Advice, I've always reflected on advice through my life, and one of the biggest advices I had for myself was never to have any situation happen or any steps I take that I would regret or resent. So bottom line is to always be thinking as you're growing up, growing old, growing wiser, not to have any regrets in life, and do what you can to avoid being trapped in those regrets. Again, there's always different steps you can do, different tools you can use, and just make sure you don't get stuck in any rut you don't necessarily have to be in.
Right. That's amazing advice. Do you have any regrets or resentments?
Not at all. I've been so lucky with my education. I've been so lucky with being born in Canada, being born in Ontario, having all the advantages of this first world country. It's just lucky to have started here and to have lived my life here so far, and also to have traveled the world and to see internationally what other countries are experiencing culturally, socially, different problems that they have, different advantages that they have. Again, Canada is a great country, but there's other countries in the world that are also just as fortunate and opposite, just as unfortunate.
That's great. I know Canada is in a tough spot right now, and a lot of people are dealing with a lot of different mental health issues. For someone that's going through a lot of mental health issues right now, what would your advice to them be?
Again, we have different agencies. We have different health services that are aimed specifically at helping people that are experiencing those challenges, those problems. And again, if these people reach out, there's people ready to assist them. Often it's just a matter of looking out, finding out what is out there, and then taking advantage of it and using it health-wise.
What's one of your biggest mistakes you've made in life?
Biggest mistakes I've made in my life. I am very lucky. I have never made any big mistakes. Working through life, you have to be very careful safety-wise, though. I must say, although I've never made any big mistakes, there's a few things that have happened to me where I think safety-wise, I've really come close to being seriously injured, and was fortunate enough to not be seriously injured. I've worked in construction, worked on the railway, and different jobs, a lot of hands-on, a lot of physical jobs. And again, it's nice when you're working in jobs that have health rules, health and safety laws. It really helps different workers in Canada, especially to be safe. The rules are there for reasons. And again, it's just nice to have those guardrails to keep you healthy. And I don't like to think back on the few times that I did come close, but in those situations, again, I guess because I was being careful, that I avoided the health disaster.
Hey, we're glad to have you. Like you're still standing. You look pretty fit for your age. That's amazing. Going back, you mentioned you're retired. What does it feel like to be retired?
So it's absolutely amazing. There's a number of people that ask, what are you going to do when you retire? It's easy. Number one, you don't sleep in because you don't have anything to do all day.
No.
Get up, make the day as long as possible. You have no stress,
Yeah.
no worries. So yes, I get up early in the morning between 5, 6 o'clock, enjoy an entire day, get out for a walk just like I'm doing today. And that's right after being in my hot yoga studio every day with great people. So, and make sure you read, make sure you keep up with the news, make sure you're active with your community. All this takes up time with your retirement time and volunteering. There's so many great things to volunteer for, whether it's with your community efforts, whether it's with your church efforts, your faith efforts. You can make your day as busy or not busy in retirement as you want, which is really great. And hopefully everybody gets a chance to retire in security. It's really a nice situation to be in.
I bet. You're living the life.
One of the good suggestions I had when I first retired from a number of retirees was the first couple of years of retirement, just say no to volunteering, give yourself a chance to reload after your work career, and think about what you want to volunteer for, what you want to do with your retirement time. And it turned out to be really good advice, and nobody should be bored in retirement. Again, there's community activities, there's church activities. They're always looking for volunteers and really good. They have good efforts for the community, good efforts for the church where your time is well used. And whether you're working with little kids or whether you're working with seniors, again, from youngest to oldest, it's all appreciated.
Are you married?
I am not married. I have a common law partner.
How does it feel to be in a common law relationship?
I think in this day and age, a number of people have been married, have been divorced, some younger, some older. The one thing that I'm very fortunate with is when I did get my divorce, it was amicable, and it's so nice to still be good friends with my ex-wife, and it's nice to be able to phone her up whenever I want and chat and to get along that positive way. There's no sense in fighting in separation or in breakup. There's nothing for either side to gain, and it can be very expensive.
Yeah, I bet. And for someone that doesn't know, I mean, not that anybody wants to go through this, but what was divorce like?
For me, it was amicable. My ex and I, we got together. We discussed our relationship in its downward years, I'll say. We both realized that we weren't communicating properly and that there was no recourse to recovery from that. And again, we were able to separate and divorce in a very amicable way, and it worked out very well.
For anybody that wants to get married, what's your best piece of marriage advice?
It's very basic in that you want to get to know your future life partner, and that takes a bit of time. You have to be in different situations, good, bad, in between, and how you work through it and still get along, I think will tell whether you're going to have a shorter relationship, be it girlfriend, boyfriend, which again it can be a good thing, or whether it's going to get deeper, more involved, and get more into a lifelong relationship. And lifelong for different people. For me, with my ex, it was over 30 years, which is a good chunk of time. For other people, it might be a little bit shorter. For other people, it might be longer.
That's a long time, 30 years of your life, but you move forward and things happen along the way, and you learn from those experiences. What keeps you motivated in life?
Keeping me motivated in life is doing things that are positive, doing things that involve other people, doing things that involve community, benefiting the community, benefiting my church, being social, and being in person with other people, whether it be through church or whether it be through community. And for some people, it might be in politics. Again, social, in person, really helps a lot. I'm in my church every week, and then more than that sometimes, and I'm in a hot yoga studio every day. And I am notorious for being a hugger.
You love hugs.
It's amazing how many people I hug maybe for the first time, and I honestly feel them relieved because maybe they haven't had a hug in months or maybe in years, feeling that I've relieved some anxiety and starting a new friendship. So yeah, something as simple as a hug can be a really big deal, and it's nice to be known for that factor.
Hey, some people need a hug, especially in today's time. What's your best piece of advice for the younger generation of today?
Younger generation of today? Well, you said the word generation. And from generation to generation, things change, and they change big time. So you're asking a senior here advice for younger people. And it's very easy for me to give advice, but again, is my advice appropriate for the times? Or is my advice more appropriate as the times that I have lived? So today, it's a tech age. Tomorrow, I'm not too sure what it's going to be. I know the tech age, the tech people that I know, younger, it's very fast paced. It's changing not only year to year, month to month, week to week, day to day, but sometimes the tech scenario is changing hour to hour. So it's a very fast-paced world. I do understand the stress that people are going through, and I also realize that young people trying to be successful, trying to get the job done, often they're in transition and they're moving from maybe one job to another job. And in my generation, it was seeking security long term to be
Job
in.
security.
Exactly, to be in one job, to have all the securities of that job, to have one partner and be in that situation and that security for a lifetime. But no, these days, different generation, different set of rules, and different advice needed.
100%. Yeah, it's a completely different generation. A lot of people are working, two part-time jobs, maybe one full-time job and then a side job, all these different things. What made your generation stand out compared to today's generation in that sense when it comes to, job security and, financial freedom and relationships?
Big multifaceted question there, Saif. As far as relationships go, one thing I've really noticed in my generation, being a senior, I remember back to families having a number of children. I do see some families today having a number of children, but it just doesn't seem to be that many with more than one child. The other thing I also notice is with younger people, a lot of cats and a lot of dogs. And when I talk to the people about having pets, they have chosen to have pets rather than to have children. And they have some very practical reasons. Some people just aren't happy with the world today and they're not too sure what's going to happen tomorrow. And they're worried if they do have children, what their children will have to face negative wise in the coming years.
I'm actually married myself. I have two kids. My daughter's going to be 4 and my son's going to be 2.
So your
So
four-year-old daughter's running the household. So that's
Pretty much, yeah. So, I mean, going back to what you said, even I sometimes get scared about, mine and my wife's future, the kids' future, especially in unstable times and an unstable economy. But I mean, if the previous generations could get through it, I don't see why my generation can't.
I totally agree with you. I think if you're careful with your next steps in life and you avoid having regrets in life, sometimes it's through education, training, making those steps that are going to help your future security. And please do not waste time in school. If you're going to go to school, make sure it's something practical. School these days is so expensive, and you don't want to just take a year off, or you don't want to float through a year of education. Make every year count. And do what you can do, especially thinking wise, what your next steps are going to be so that you don't waste your next steps. You don't waste time and you don't waste money or somebody else's money like your parents.
Do you think school is really needed in the times of today, or you think it's getting outdated, or what's your opinion on school these days?
I think there's a lot of self-made people that brag about their success without education. Yep. Those people are far and few between. Those people, they have special skills. They have special tools that they have developed in a practical way. The one thing I know in this day and age is there's less and less tradespeople. And if you are okay with hands-on work, there's such a need in our trades, whether it's carpentry, whether it's masonry, whether it's stonework, woodwork, whether it's mechanics, whether it's body work, working on vehicles. There really is a trades deficit. I find these days often people who were going to university are giving up the ghost on university and going to college and taking trades, which I think really is a positive move because they're always going to be working. They're always going to be needed, and good pay, good benefits await them.
That's amazing advice. For the men of today, how do you choose the right woman?
I think you have to choose very carefully.
Carefully.
Exactly. And realize that first of all, put yourself out. And often for a lot of guys, that's really tough. I'm in a hot yoga studio every day, and I'm with at least 30, sometimes 40 women in that studio. And maybe I go in to practice hot yoga, and there's myself, one other guy, and there'd be 29 women. I get to talk to these women, and they're in their 20s, they're in their 30s, and sometimes they talk personally. And a lot of these women, they're single. A few of them are separated, some are very young female parents. The one thing that I guess it could be a complaint. They find that guys just don't put themselves out. They don't make the move. They're being shy or they're being backward. And for whatever reason, the women find it confusing. And so all I can say is there's a lot of great women out there and they're just waiting. They're waiting for some guy to come along and put himself out. It can start as simple as hi or a smile and then just take it from there.
And just scoop them away.
It sounds simple, but often it can be that simple.
Yeah.
You just have to make that move. It's like me coming up and hugging somebody.
Yeah.
Same idea that I was talking about earlier. All of a sudden, doors open up and friendships open up, and it's a new world for both people involved.
Well, thank you so much again. Hey, give me a hug.
Hugs are good.